Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Sheldon, and this is another episode of Behind the Enthusiast. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the new announcement from Harley-Davidson pertaining to the new Sportster. That announcement, the official reveal, is going to be on April 12th. Now, they didn't give us a whole lot to go off of, but we do have a very short video that I'm going to take a quick look at right now, and you guys can watch along with me, and then we're going to go over those brief glimpses of what they teased once again, and go over some of the design elements and how they relate to some of the older Sportsters and how they're modernizing this new sport lineup. So, let's get into it. So first things first, guys, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you head over to the Harley-Davidson website. Make sure you sign up so you guys are notified of when this release actually happens, because if you're like me and you get busy throughout the week, you forget what day it is, and then you would forget completely about this reveal. And the first thing that comes to my mind when actually looking at this video, at this teaser, all this information that is given, even though it is very, very subtle, there's also a silhouette photo online as well, and basically it's really obvious what they're trying to do with this new Sportster. Now, we are under the assumption that is a 975 based on what the engine is looking like. It looks like it's all blacked out. There is a circular air cleaner cover, which is very, very similar to what is on the Softail Standard and some of the other Sportster models. So there's a lot of similarities in the styling. Now, with the air cleaner being more or less borrowed from the 48, the Iron 883 has a slightly different design on it, so it doesn't look like it's going to be the same as that. But they are grabbing a lot of elements from the current motorcycles in the Sportster lineup. So with the 48 and the Iron 883, it kind of looks like they're doing an amalgamation of both of these bikes into this modernized version of a Sportster, which should be a 975. So from the tail section, which is kind of chopped but not really, up to the solo seat, the gas tank looks pretty streamlined, if you will. The rims are rather interesting. It's kind of hard to tell from the video, but it kind of looks as though they've taken the spokes that are currently on one of the models and put a cutout in them. So very similar to what they did with the Fat Boy and Fat Bob this year. They've added some cutouts in the spokes. So I noticed that in the video, and that was really, really obvious. I don't know if I'm actually going to be a fan of it or not when I actually see the full reveal. And with the engine, obviously it looks blacked out. The round air cleaner is very, very simple, very modern. The foot position, I'm not entirely sure. It's really hard to tell, but I imagine it's probably going to be forwards. But honestly, you could probably flip a coin on it. It could end up being mids, because with the Sportster S, it's already forwards. So it does kind of make a little bit more sense to have mids, but you can always switch from one to the other. And so I think in regards to what we're actually going to see, Harley's obviously going to be basing it off of, what is more popular. So I might be wrong that I think they're going to do forwards, but if I had to put money on it, I'm probably going to put my money on mids, just because they really should have both varieties. So they should have a bike with forwards and a bike with mids as well. Now, moving on to some of the other elements that are relatively clear. The seat basically looks like it's coming off of a 48. The Iron 883 this year has those humps. I'm not seeing that. It's a very smooth seat, which I really like. The Iron 883 seats, it looks a little funky to me. I don't remember what they really feel like, but in terms of the styling there is a bit of a gap. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there is a gap from the seat to the tank, which is very, very similar to the 48. So it kind of looks like they're taking elements from each bike and transferring it over to this new model, which, again, it really makes me think that they're going to be getting rid of the original Sportsters, you know, the Iron 883 and the 48. There are some people commenting on the videos, actually quite recently, and, you know, there's one person in particular who mentioned that they're going to keep making these models for quite a few years into the foreseeable future, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I don't know if I would bet on it. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I think it's actually a pretty good idea to keep making the old school ones. I just don't know if it's actually going to make a whole lot of sense to keep doing that. But if they're able to keep making the older bikes, by all means, we're always going to have people out there who want the old school nostalgic bikes. So if people are still willing to buy them, you might as well keep making them. Now, moving up to the front of this new Sportster, we can definitely see that the cowling is completely different. It is somewhat similar to the Iron 1200. I actually rode one of those, and you know, you do get a little bit of coverage from the wind. However, the handlebar height, I believe I said it was about 5 inches, which was my guess. So 5 inches, I think, is around there. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so somewhere around there. Now, I don't know if I'm off by a whole lot. The riser doesn't seem to be, you know, crazy high or anything, but I think the bar is probably going to be, it's probably not a drag bar, but it definitely will be some sort of moto bar. I'm pretty sure we can count on that. And in terms of that cowling, you have a round headlight, so they're maintaining that, you know, old school look. It is still modernized, of course, but they're keeping that old aesthetics, you know, and putting it all throughout the motorcycle. And in terms of what they've teased, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that we are going to end up with 3 different color options, one being red, one being blue, and the other one being gray. Now, are they actually going to be gunship gray, reef blue, and maybe a red line red? I wouldn't count on that, but that's kind of what it looks like based on the photos that we've seen online in the videos. So I think that's more or less it. You know, the video doesn't really show a whole lot, but obviously I want to pass the question on to you guys. What do you guys think of this teaser? Do you think it was a little, you know, too brief? Do you guys think it was necessary to do another teaser, even though they did one in the world premiere back in January? What are your guys' thoughts on that? You know, what do you guys think of the design elements that are showcased very, very briefly? You know, I want to know what you guys think of this new Sportster. Do you guys are you guys sold on the idea of, you know, potentially buying one of these and having the old ones just completely disappear and never be available again? Let me know in the comments section down below. And if you guys like this video, be sure to smash that like button so I know that it's working. And of course, as usual, be sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on future videos, because here's the thing. This video is basically, I'm just slapping this together really, really quick because I didn't realize how quickly that premiere is actually going to be coming up on us. So the premiere, the release, the special event, whatever it is, it's coming up really, really fast, so I wanted to get this video out there so we can at least start the discussion a little bit early, and instead of having this huge reveal and then just, almost like having a bomb go off, right? You want to have discussion a little bit earlier before that big reveal, because I think it's going to be super exciting, and I want to get a lot of conversation going on. I want to know what everyone is thinking, because I have a lot of videos in the works based on what this bike ends up actually being. So the engine size, that sort of thing. But like I said, you guys have to subscribe, because if you don't, you're not going to get notified of when I post those videos. And I do have a few tricks up my sleeve for where my head is at and where I think the new models should go. And I know a lot of you leave some really great comments. I tried to read absolutely everything, and I try to respond to everything as well. So I know you guys are loving that, and so keep leaving comments, and I will catch you guys in the next one.